Hi friends, it's story time. I stretched my hands away up high until they almost touched the sky. I lay them on my lap, you see, where they're as quiet as can be. For it's story time, you see. I hope you're in a snuggly, comfortable place for a story. If not, go do that now. Hit the pause button and come back when you're ready, all snuggly and toasty in a warm, comfortable place for a story. And I'm going to read to you today this one called The Lion Inside. The Lion Inside. The Lion Inside by Rachel Bright and Jim Field. I wonder why there is a mouse on the page if the title has the word lion in it. And the front cover had a lion on it. Oh, but there's a mouse on his head. I can't wait to find out. In a dry, dusty place where the sand sparkled gold stood a mighty flat rock, all craggy and old. And under that rock in a tiny full house lived the littlest, quietest, meekest brown mouse. He was so very tiny, so incredibly small, that nobody noticed him ever at all. He got stepped on and sat on. He missed out on stuff, ignored and forgotten. His mouse life was tough. Meanwhile, far above, on top of the rock, times were quite different. It was lion o'clock. This huge toothy creature made sure everyone saw how important he was by how loud he could ... roar. He was head of the pack. He was shouty and proud. He loved flexing his biceps and wowing the crowd. Yes, all were impressed by this mighty King Cat. If only, thought Mouse, I could be more like that. Then, one late one dark night, in his tiny mouse bed, the cleverest thought popped right into his head. He leaped up in the darkness and held up a paw. "I've got it," he said. "What I need is a roar." He looks so excited, doesn't he? You see the speech bubble? It says roar. I mean, what if this mouse with the weakest squeak were a little more grrr and a little less meek? Well, he'd still be the smallest fuzzy brown mouse, but he'd make friends and join in, and life would be quite nice. Yes, thought Mouse, I must find out how. I will learn to roar, and I will learn it now. But it wouldn't be easy. There was only one beast who could teach him this thing, but might make him a feast. It was time to be strong, take a chance. After all, forever is such a long time to feel small. So he made himself brave, and he thought like a winner. He set off for the top, hoping not to be dinner. It felt like the scariest thing he could do, but if you want things to change, you first have to change you. The farther he climbed, the closer he got to the slumbering lion reclining on top. Remember, he lives down here. He has to climb up to the top of the rocks. And at last, as he stood on his tippity toes, he found himself suddenly nose to dot, dot, dot. That's what I love about reading. I wonder what happens next. Nose. Gulp, pardon me. Wake up, Mr. Lion, you've got company. Squeak, Mr. Lion, what I've come to you for is, Squeak, do you think you could teach me your roar? I wonder what will happen next. A silence befell that twinkling plain. Lion opened his eyes and puffed out his big mane. Check that out. That's a pretty cool picture. Time went so slowly, it felt like a week. And he opened his mouth and let out a The lion curled up in a terrified ball. He didn't like this, not one bit at all. Don't hurt me, he whimpered. Oh, try to be nice. Well, this mighty great lion is frightened of mice. Don't worry, Mouse peeped. I'm here as a friend. Let's hang out together. Be pals to the end. That was a magical moment for sure, when the mouse didn't feel at all small anymore. He found his true voice and he learned to speak out. And for that, you don't need a roar or a shout. And from that day and always, the two were a pair. They both liked that rock better, now that that rock was to share. The mouse, while still little, felt big in his head. And Lion, he still roared, but with the laughter and said, "Ho, ho, 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 ho." Yes, that day they both learned that no matter your size, we all have a mouse and a lion inside. Be yourself and be the best you that you can be.